In 2006, the ATF in Arizona created a scandal, unlike really the ATF had ever seen. Obviously, outside of their malpractices at Ruby Ridge, and I can go on and on. But as far as just straight up ignorance of doing something that really kind of made them look foolish, which was what's referred to as the gunwalking scandal, where ultimately they allowed straw purchases to take place. And they did this in such a way in Arizona to try to track guns to the cartel, the Mexican cartel, and find out who is supplying these guns. So they just let people make tons of straw purchases, and all those guns just simply disappeared. Hundreds and hundreds of guns just simply disappeared under their watch. And it was referred to as the gunwalking scandal. And then in 2011, they tried it again, this time with tracking devices. And these tracking devices were really inoperable after 48 hours. So they lost more guns, essentially continuing to let people illegally ship guns to Mexico without any really repercussions or being able to get those guns back. And I bring these gunwalking scandals up because it seems like that they're doing it again. It's kind of a practice that has clearly never worked for the ATF, and they seem to be doing it again. Now, what are we talking about here? Well, what we've seen in 2024 alone is thousands and thousands of guns being smuggled from the U.S. into Mexico, seemingly easily without repercussions. In addition to that, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of rounds of ammo being smuggled into Mexico from the U.S., seemingly easily, if not millions of rounds. And the only reason we even know about these is because border agents are, finding them. And not just finding them, but finding few of them. And now there's estimates of, well, if they found this many, well, how many have really gotten through? And the estimates are thousands of guns and potentially millions of rounds of ammo, but at the very least, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of rounds of ammo being smuggled from the U.S. to Mexico. Now, how is this happening? The only possible explanation for this happening is people are making straw purchases, multiple straw purchases on an extremely high level, and then shipping them to Mexico for sale. Now, I bring up the gunwalking scandal because I don't simply see how this is possible. If I know about it, how is it the ATF doesn't know about it? Of course they have to know about it. So there's a few explanations for this. One, they're incompetent and they can't stop it. Two, they're allowing it to happen. Now, it could be a combination of both things. I definitely don't want to undermine the incompetence of the administrative branch of the federal government because they are incompetent. Not just the ATF, but all of those alphabet agencies have proven themselves to be regularly incompetent. Now, with that being said, I don't want to underplay that. And I also don't want to underplay the fact that the incompetency could really dwell on that they're allowing it to happen too, because they did it in 2006. They did it in 2011. What would stop them from doing it again? I would argue nothing, because they don't seem to be able to learn from past lessons. Now, if you look at the amount of guns being smuggled into Mexico in 2023, 2022, and 2021, it's exponentially higher in 2024. And that's why I believe there's more behind the idea that it's not just people making straw purchases at a higher level. It's people getting away with straw purchases at a much higher level. And I believe that is why the ATF, I believe we're going to find that there's some sort of gun walking project going on right now with the ATF. Probably won't find out about it until 2025, but I just don't see how we have so many guns being straw purchased and shipped to Mexico. You know, you also have Mexican president trying to sue gun manufacturers. That just went through the Supreme Court and was knocked down because of the sheer volume of guns coming into Mexico over the border. It's a big issue for them down there. And now what we're seeing is the ATF either is just straight up missing it because of incompetency, or they're allowing it to happen. They've done it twice before that we know of, and I believe that's what we're seeing happen right now. I hope I'm wrong, but I believe they're allowing it to happen. Actually, I don't hope I'm wrong, because I'd rather they be allowing it to happen than that they're just that foolish. I'd hate to think that they're that incompetent. But I don't know. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. If you have any insight on this, definitely put that below. But in the end, what you have is you have thousands of guns and hundreds of thousands of rounds of ammo being smuggled into Mexico from the United States based on straw purchases at an exponential level than we've seen in the past. So I believe the ATF is allowing this to happen because we've seen them do that before in the gunwalking scandal. And I think we're just entering into another gunwalking scandal. And they're just going to lose all these guns into Mexico. So any thoughts or insight again on that, definitely put it below. I do want to take a moment and say most people watch the channel, hey, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. It greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests. So please don't ever, ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.